Welcome, everyone, to day 2 of the Purpose-Driven Prosperity Sprint. We're going to talk about Be a Blessing Marketing. You are here because you have signed up and indeed showed up for today's workshop. This, again, day 2 of the Purpose-Driven Prosperity Sprint. And you are in the right place if you are ready to approach your marketing from a place of generosity rather than gimmicks. If you are looking at marketing as providing a service rather than a means of self-promotion, and if you're ready to build a marketing web that will earn you awareness, attention, permission, and trust that immediately leads to interest, enrollment, and investment in your offer that we created yesterday, your forever offer, through visibility, trust building, and enrollment, as opposed to trying to use all the usual digital marketing hacks and tricks. So I'm going to now go ahead and share my screen and we'll get right into it. Okay, so we've already been through the little intro there. Today we are shifting from who you are and what you offer, which we covered yesterday in the Forever Offer framework. We crafted our Forever Offer statement and some idea virus manifesto lines for getting the word out. And today we're going to talk about how people discover you, how you earn their trust, and how you help invite the right people to take the next step with you. I want to remind you that marketing, the way that I think about marketing, is very different than the way we usually think about it, because there's so much skepticism and cynicism about marketing because of all the digital marketing hacks and tricks that we've had to go through on social media or invading our inbox or what have you. Marketing has nothing to do, or it's not simply content creation. It's not simply attention hacking, and it's not simply funnel gymnastics or algorithm gambling. Marketing is telling true stories to people that need to hear them so that their lives can be enhanced by the difference that only you can help them make. And the way that we think about marketing in the Be a Blessing marketing system is that we simply are going to show up as we are with what we have, do our thing, and let people watch, trusting that our people will find us and they will actually invite themselves to greater proximity and access to us. And so what happens with Be a Blessing marketing is you're never in a position where you're selling anything. You never have to pitch your offer. You never have to sell your offer. You don't have to engage in ridiculous discovery calls or sales calls. Your people, through inception, will be eager to buy from you. Remember, nobody likes to be sold, but we all like to buy. Otherwise, we wouldn't have Walmarts and Targets and Barnes and Nobles and Michael's Hobbies and all the places that we go where we're eager to shell out our hard-earned money to buy things that we actually want. That's not because we've been sold. It's not because someone created some sort of false urgency, scarcity, and a shiny landing page with a perfectly colored button and a call to action and forced us to buy. And so we're going to leverage our natural inclination to buy the things that we want to buy that help us feel the way we want to feel, accomplish what we want to accomplish, or solve whatever problem we want to solve. So this means that marketing is simply going to be showing up generously as you are with what you have in places that you naturally belong, in ways that demonstrate your competence and character so that the right people self-select into joining conversations with you that will lead naturally through the conversation engine process that we've discussed in the past and can access anytime, into increasingly desiring to be in greater proximity and have greater access to you by purchasing your offers. So the essence of Be a Blessing marketing centers on 3 truths. The first is that trust beats tactics. People don't buy because you have a clever hook or have an enticingly packaged product or service. They buy because they believe that you can help them achieve an aspiration or solve a problem. They believe that because they've witnessed your consistency and your competence, and they're interested in what you can do for them. It's not about you. It's not even about your service or your product. People will buy simply because they believe that that investment will help them close the gap between where they are and where they want to be, with increasing efficiency and effectiveness, with greater ease and velocity. Second, generosity beats gimmicks. You don't need to use all the digital marketing nonsense of ideal customer avatars and niches and power offers and product or service launches. You don't need to trick them into giving up their precious attention or their credit card number. You just need to share substance that earns awareness, attention, trust, and permission that immediately leads to them moving from that marketing cycle, right? Marketing is where you are earning awareness, attention, trust, and permission, and very quickly builds a bridge into the sales cycle, which is they become interested in what you can do for them. They are enrolled in the journey that you can take them on, and they are willing to invest in the difference that you can help them make. And then the third is service beats strategy. This is a play on the idea of culture beats strategy. Marketing helps people see what they need to see, but can't or don't see yet. It's a way of helping them turn on lights or open doors to things that they haven't considered before. It's a way of addressing their false beliefs and inserting a crack that allows you to insert a better belief for their consideration. And when you do this, sales becomes unnecessary. The right people buy because it's the natural next step toward what they want, not because you learned a bunch of sales closing tricks in some sort of high ticket mastermind or online course. So this flips the entire digital marketing script. You don't have to market at clients. You don't have to try to hard sell people. You don't have to pitch them, trick them, hack their attention, or anything else. You market to get clarity about who your clients really are. And in the process, you are helping them connect with you and learn how you are the best choice to help them achieve an aspiration or solve a problem. All right, let's get to the marketing web. This is where we are going to talk about how we move from exposure, people become aware and start to pay attention to who we are and what we can do for them, and move them into proximity, where we're going to earn their trust and permission to have conversations with them that lead them to want to have greater access to us, where they will literally raise their hand, volunteer, and step into our world so that they can continue to benefit from the information we're sharing, the processes that we're sharing, the products and services that we have available that will help them accomplish what they want to accomplish. And so if you haven't seen it before, in the Inner Circle All Access Vault, there is a training called Getting the Word Out. It's the most comprehensive training I have about the distinction between marketing and sales, and the distribution curve, the adoption decisions, and all of that. But I'm honing in on this exposure, proximity, and access because this is the core of it, especially when we layer in the conversation engine that we've done workshops in the recent past. So we are not building a funnel with Be a Blessing Marketing, because funnels are inherently ineffective. They are inherently very leaky, which is why they require so much effort, so much attention, and so much investment of capital to make them work. Instead of a funnel, we're going to build a marketing web, which is a network of touch points where your presence, perspective, and proof compound over time. So walking through the three phases: exposure, proximity, and access. Exposure is where the right people will first encounter you or your ideas. So you should be careful about where you are choosing, this is going to sound weird, to expose yourself to the right people. Where do the people who share your values and need your talents to enhance their lives already gather? It's way easier to go where these people already are than it is to try to create some sort of community or platform where you're trying to drag people, pull people just so that you can talk to them. There are plenty of places where your people are already gathering, where your scene already exists, and you can just simply show up there as you are with what you have and do your thing and let them watch where it's those folks are already gathering. So I'm going to talk just for a second here about platforms, and we're going to go into more detail about this in just a second. But for most of us, we usually think of the scenes that we can show up in terms of social media platforms, maybe forums and other kind of platforms. And hopefully you're also seeing the value of the low-hanging fruit existing wherever you're already communicating with your network, with the people that are already in your circle of connections and contacts and network of connections. I'm just going to give you straight up the way that I think about the current platforms that are available, because I have been successful using digital marketing tricks and hacks in all of these places. Well, not all of them, but almost all of them. So Twitter, I'll get that out of the way, or what's now called X, is a place that I played around in very, very little. I got in just before the buyout and before the transition from Twitter to X, and it became just kind of a cesspool of fomenting outrage. And there are certainly people there that have high profiles that can use that profile and that reputation to exhibit their authority and get people to buy stuff. But it's, for me, it was never a place where I was really much interested in trying to connect with my people, because my people are not there. I'm not interested in working with people that are easily triggered into outrage or arguing or that sort of thing. That aside, Facebook is a place where I did, using funnels, ideal customer avatars, niched offers, power offers, and Facebook ads, was able to build successful businesses. The problem that I found was that you have to think about what these platforms are really designed for. Facebook is designed for distraction. They want to get you there and they want to keep you there. They leverage outrage. They also just leverage dopamine, and things like Reels and the content that's posted there is mostly designed to just capture your attention and keep you there, regardless of what you're actually trying to accomplish in your life. So I've opted out of all legacy social media platforms, but Facebook, even though I had success there, what I found was the kind of clients that came in and subscribers that came in through Facebook were not really the kind of people I wanted to spend a lot of time with, or that I really wanted to work with. LinkedIn is mostly a self-promotion platform. It doesn't mean that you can't succeed there. Again, I leveraged a LinkedIn direct messaging strategy before it was even really a thing, had great success, earned lots and lots of money doing direct outreach on LinkedIn. And it is something that worked well then. It doesn't work nearly as well now because so many people do it so poorly. But again, the people that were coming in to become subscribers and clients and community members from LinkedIn largely were not the kind of people that I wanted to hang out with and spend time with. So I have gone all in for now on Substack, which is not a perfect platform, but in general, at this moment, Substack is still a place that attracts people that are readers and writers. So for me, they are more intelligent, they are more engaged, they are there to do research and learn things that are of interest to them. So it functions as a search engine, much in the way that YouTube does. And so the place that I can show up where more of my people are already gathered right now happens to be Substack. And Substack offers all the tools that other legacy social media offers in terms of posting content on Notes, posting video, podcast content, blog posts, email lists and access. It's all available to me on Substack, including doing live broadcasts, which is something I enjoy to do. So for me, going all in on Substack is a good move because it's the best platform in terms of having more of the right people for me that can also more easily find me. And there's this inherent network effect in the Substack platform that adds subscribers kind of organically and naturally. So that's where I'm going to expose people to the difference that I can make for them. I'm not making any judgment about whether you should be on Substack or LinkedIn or Facebook or even X or anything else. I'm just saying, be thoughtful, deliberate, and diligent about deciding where the people are already whose lives would be enhanced by connecting with you and the difference that you can make for them. So you want to be somewhere where you are findable by the right people. I would encourage you to not worry about trying to go viral anywhere. Algorithm hacking is a fruitless exercise because you're not going to hack the algorithm. And even if you do, the algorithm is going to change minutes after you finally figure out what's working now. Now let's talk about proximity. Where people are able to get close enough to feel your values and competence, where you can start to build allegiance capital. Examples, again, using Substack and what I'm doing, email replies, comments on my post, direct messages. I always send a message to brand new subscribers that initiates conversations right away. Workshops like this, sometimes they are more public facing than this one happens to be. The weekly community calls, these are all ways that I give people a low friction, low risk way of gaining greater proximity to me so that they can have a deeper, more profound experience with how I can help them get clear about and closer to what they want, whether it's in life or in business. So again, once you've landed on where's the place that I can start to get the word out about who I am and what I do, then how are you going to leverage the tools on that platform to get the right people to take a step closer to you and into your ecosystem and gain greater proximity? And then the final step is access. Where do people get close enough to experience what you can truly do for them? Person to person, one to one, human to human. And this is where I start to leverage the conversation engine. We're not going to go into a lot of detail about this, but you all know that the way that I have my Substack built is I look at my subscribers. Any free subscribers are prospects. They are people that are interested enough in what I can do for them to have given up their email address. The people that are leads are the people that have become circle or inner circle members because they are paid subscribers. They have actually invested a little bit of cash to have greater proximity and access to me. And so I'm using icebreaker conversations. Like, how do I start a conversation with someone? I start conversations with free subscribers from the moment they subscribe with some sort of icebreaker question via direct message. I start icebreaker conversations with new paid subscribers directly by email. I can move the people that respond to those icebreakers who get a little value from me helping them clarify what they're actually trying to accomplish and what's actually in their way. I move them into the diagnostic conversations, 5 questions that if they answer will allow me to actually give them a roadmap for how they can go collapse time to target between where they are and where they want to be, and then move them into a low ticket continuance offer. Mine is Inbox Catalyst, but they can continue the traction that they created in the free Catalyst exchange, which is the icebreaker and the diagnostic, by doing a 5 email 2-week exchange over email to start to get some traction and start closing the gap. And then I can move them into the mid-ticket or high-ticket offers that will increase the ease and velocity. So either Boxer Velocity or Cornerman Coaching. And everybody on this call is a member of one of those programs. All to say that you don't need more reach, you need more resonance. When you're thinking about the marketing web, being intentional about showing up on the platforms that are hosting your scene, hosting people that would benefit from colliding with you and the difference you can make, and you're doing that with increasing integrity, then it doesn't matter how many people are on your list. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter how many likes and comments you get on your content. You don't need much. You can get going with as few as 10 people who are paying attention. If you engage those people properly, generously, with intention, with integrity, if you help them get clear about what they're actually trying to accomplish and how they can do that, they will naturally want to invest in taking the next best step into possibility with you, because you're going to be earning their enrollment and investment at every step of the way. So again, size does not matter. A small audience with deep trust will outperform a large audience with shallow attention. Talk to anybody or look at anybody that's an Instagram influencer or has a massive following on Twitter. When you look at the percentages of the number of people that actually buy something from them, it seems like it's hardly worth the effort. It takes a lot of investment of time, attention, money, and effort to become the kind of person that has the kind of reach that an influencer has. And the return on that investment of time, attention, money, and effort is abysmal. It is very small. All right, so let's get into the Be a Blessing marketing basics and behaviors. These are the core practices that make a marketing web work without having to force anything. We're attracting the right prospects and leads and customers and clients through presence, not pressure, because we're showing up where we naturally belong. There's no cognitive dissonance in the way that I show up on Substack, whether I'm doing a live, whether I'm posting, whether I'm invading your inbox with an email or sharing a note or a direct message. If you're trying to show up everywhere all the time on every platform, it's impossible for you to show up with any real level of integrity, because to succeed on each platform requires a different posture, requires a different approach, because each platform attracts a different kind of scene, attracts a different kind of person. And if you are going to try to show up everywhere all the time, all at once, you're going to be spinning your wheels and putting out a lot of time, attention, money, and effort in places that are delivering almost no return on investment. If you show up consistently in places where your people already are, where your voice feels natural, where your values are shared and your presence can compound, you're going to get a much larger return on investment. So we're talking about scene-based marketing, not ideal customer avatar theater. How do you show up? Well, you're going to share your work. You're not going to show up as a pitch person. Pitch man, pitch woman. The best marketing is a byproduct of demonstrating your best work in public. Again, do your thing out loud in public, show up as you are with what you have for whoever's around, do your thing and let them watch. So you can show up and share insights that reveal blind spots. You can share stories that highlight a core principle or practice or process. You can ask questions that spark clarity. You can share small wins from your existing clients. You can share micro frameworks and practices and principles that you've refined that will help people get a quick win. And you can share notes on what you're learning through your coaching. There's all sorts of ways that you can show up. It doesn't have to be content creation, blog posting, podcast episodes, YouTube, video content. Everything works. What I would suggest you do is get clear. We talked about this yesterday. Get clear about your personality and preferences, your values, guiding principles, non-negotiables, your talents, and the skills that express those talents, and decide what the platform is and what the medium is for you showing up at your best. This is not about promoting. It's about practicing out loud and engaging the field. The reason that we created those forever offers and idea virus statements yesterday is they give us an immediate way to go to the platforms where our scene already exists and test for resonance. You can create a very tight feedback loop. You create your forever offer statement, your idea virus, you go to your favorite platform and you start sharing content that leads with your statement or idea virus manifesto, or concludes with it, or asks a question based on it, or has a call to action based on it. And every comment, reply, or direct message or question is a chance for you to demonstrate your perspective, your process, your preeminence, share your values and talents, earn trust and permission, and initiate a connection and a conversation. This way, by engaging the field, your marketing just becomes a way of coaching in public. And I'll just say that for those of you that get turned off by the idea of coaching or don't think of yourself as a coach, that's fine. Anna and I just talked about this today. As someone that really resisted becoming a coach because I didn't like the term coaching, or I had a misconstrued idea of what coaching actually is, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Coaching is simply helping someone get clear about and get closer to what they actually want. And everybody in this room, whether you consider yourself a teacher or a healer or a product designer or a consultant or a content creator or creative or anything else, whatever you're doing to help people get clear about and closer to what they actually want by collapsing time to target. And that is essentially what coaching is. As a spouse, as a parent, as a guitar instructor, I'm coaching all the time. I don't have to call it that. And the thing about the forever offer and the idea virus statements are there are ways that you can avoid naming or getting stuck in some sort of identity trap by calling yourself a teacher, a healer, a coach, or anything else. You just are saying, I help this kind of person get this kind of result. That's all you're doing. And it doesn't require that you name some sort of role or identity. Fourth and finally, we're talking about extending invitations instead of creating pressure to get jammed in a funnel, get churned through an email sequence, get forced onto a landing page, and get tricked into buying a thing because the call to action is so seductive, or the buttons are the right color, or the copy is so seductive, or what have you. You're never in a position where your only goal is to close. You're always simply showing up and doing the next right thing with and for the person that you're talking to. And therefore, your goal is always to simply continue to reveal the path and invite people to enroll in the journey that you can facilitate. After each step, whether it's starting a conversation with an icebreaker, continuing it and providing a roadmap through a diagnostic, or continuing it with some sort of low ticket continuance plan, at every stage, you're simply saying, here's how I can help you. Here's the help I am offering you. And if you'd like to take the next step, here's how we do it. Simply a sequence of delivering value and making the next invitation, and letting people decide for themselves if they're going to take another step into possibility with you. So yesterday we talked about our one-line idea viruses and forever offer statements. And this is, again, the marketing fuel, right? You can take those things that you created yesterday and implement them right away in your marketing web. So your idea virus is simply a very short, lean, true, repeatable, and self-spreading, resonant idea that will be understood and adopted by your hive, that the sneezers will share. And it's all rooted in who you are, what you're good at, where you belong. And it becomes a flag that the right people can gather around as a signifier, as a shibboleth, as a mark of cultural identity. And so there's no digital marketing trickery or hacking necessary. You share who you are, what you're good at, where you belong, and do your thing out loud and in public. Your people find you, and they will naturally want to continue to follow you. And through your conversations and through the rest of your marketing web and the way that you're getting work out and the way you're continuing those conversations, the right people will want to continue to get greater access to you and will pay with, at first, attention and interest, but eventually enrollment and investment. So the line that we created yesterday is something that, again, you can roll into your posting on social media, on your blog, on Substack, your podcast episodes, if you do those, videos, if you do those, notes or social media posts, emails, in-person conversations. You can be practicing this while you're in line at the grocery store or in passing a friend or neighbor on the street. These conversations and these idea viruses can spread through comments, through hosting workshops, and just in your bio line on Substack or social media. Wherever you are showing up and whatever content you're sharing, it should all match your personality and preferences, your tolerances and temperaments. You should never have to do anything that doesn't feel like you, that doesn't resonate with your values and non-negotiables. And you can draft one version of your forever offer or idea virus statement today and refine it through use by choosing the platform where you're seen already exists. And the final piece here is the marketing web audit. For those of you that are in the inner circle, I already sent you the worksheet that will help you do this. But everybody that's here is already showing up probably in a lot of places, and I can guarantee probably too many places. So what you need to do is actually do an audit of, where am I showing up? Am I showing up on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and my email list and Substack and YouTube and my podcast and in workshops? Where are all the places? You have to write them down. You have to take account of how much time are you investing in posting content there, creating content there, trying to build connections there. How much effort does that require? Does it require any investment of revenue or capital? And when you look at the return on investment of all the places that you're already showing up and the amount of time, attention, money, and effort it takes to show up there, I guarantee that you're going to find places where you could actually just stop. You could stop doing 80% of the things that you're doing, and it would have no discernible impact on the number of conversations you're having and the number of clients that you're working with. And it would save you 80% of the time, attention, money, and effort that you're currently investing, which means you automatically make money, save time, reduce stress and effort and anxiety right away by just stop doing the things that aren't actually working, that aren't in alignment with who you are and who you want to become. You don't need to show up on social media at all. I've proven this over the last 2 months. I deactivated all of my legacy social media and went all in on Substack on October 1st. Not only have I saved all that time, attention, money, and effort that was being invested in Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, but my revenue month to month has actually gone up as a result of all that. So I saved money, I saved time, I saved effort, I reduced anxiety, and I am making more money without exposing myself on any social media platform other than Substack Notes. Hey, it's Scott, and if this has been helpful so far and you want the full 3-day purpose-driven prosperity model operating system accelerator, here's how to get it. Inside the inner circle, you get the complete Forever Offer Framework session, the Be a Blessing marketing session, and the Close the Gap session, along with all the worksheets, presentation notes, and Cornerman coaching app to help you implement the system in your business right now. To watch the full replay and unlock the entire accelerator, upgrade to the inner circle on Substack. You'll find the link in the description and in the show notes. Just tap the link in the episode description or visit my Substack and choose the inner circle all access option.